favored by 3.5. They've rolled several playoff teams en route to the AFC Championship. Gronk doesn't see how they're losing. Take a listen.
I just think the Baltimore Ravens are just too much of a consistent team. They have too much firepower on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the on the ball. So I just can't see the Baltimore Ravens losing this game.
Okay. The flip side of that, Mahomes has only lost one playoff game outside of the Super Bowl. Do you think he's being disrespected with people?
No, Patrick Mahomes is not being disrespected. That's the problem. See, what we do with Patrick Mahomes is we know how great he is. We know he's a well-respected individual. But we somehow want to throw this question of, is he being disrespected because we think there's a better team than what he's on? Clearly, the Baltimore Ravens have been the better team all season long. They have progressively gotten better. When you look at where they are in their season, what holes do they have? I'm not saying that they can't be beaten by this Patrick Mahomes team, but to sit here and act like we're disrespecting Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs because the Baltimore Ravens have been and are the better team even right now currently, like this offense, tell me where their weakness is. Lamar drops back, he throws, he dies, he runs. This is the best running team in all of football defensively. If you want to go there, this is like that's their strength. Like, do they have a weakness? And when you look at the struggles that Patrick Mahomes and his Chiefs team has had, it's fair to say that this Ravens team collectively this year, without going into the archives of last year and the year before, it's better than Patrick Mahomes' team this year, right now, constructed, without grabbing his resume and pulling it forward.
So, listen, you make a great point. It's you know what, Wilds? Let me ask you a question. Would it have been disrespectful to LeBron to say that the Hawks, when they won 60 games, had a better offense, had a better defense, should win that series? Would it have been disrespectful to LeBron to say the Raptors, when they had a better record, a better offense, and a better defense, we're going to win that series?
They didn't have the MVP. Neither of those teams had even anything close to the MVP.
Agreed, and it's also basketball versus football. I understand that. But so it is not disrespectful to say the Ravens are going to win the game. I don't think what Gronk said is disrespectful. I think a whole hell of a lot of other things have been. I think on our network, my friends, Craig Carton call him blowout. Colin Cowherd call him blowout. Brew yesterday flirting with 2 touchdowns. That's disrespectful. I think that Greg did something rhetorically smart, but I think a little unfair, which is we're not allowed to consider history here, America, which is if a player on this side of the bracket, we can show it to you, has been the best we've ever seen.
Exactly.
That has to come into it. But what about if we were just to discuss him against this very opponent, Baltimore? We can show Mahomes' career against Baltimore. Now, you can say they haven't had a defense as good as this, but for 5 of Lamar's 6 years there, they have had a first, second, or third-ranked scoring defense. So they have had great defenses every year of Lamar's career but one. So that's got to play into it to a degree here. And so, yes, there is a level of disrespect. And last point on it, Brew, people are doing something this week also that's really frustrating me, which is people who, knowing all the
Ravens?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
You can do that. But people who knew all the injuries Buffalo had going into the game, knew the rest disadvantage, and then picked the Bills to win, knowing all of it, are now saying, not that good of one. Come on. Everybody knew Kansas City. I'm not saying you did that, Brew, but you're, I mean, but like that seems to me to be a little rhetorically dishonest.
Coming up next, Cowboys talk. Giddy, and he just takes this one. Pretty good. More on this game later. Weird. Early in Suns Mavs, Grant Williams kind of gives Durant a little shove and get out of here. You can't do that to my friend.
He kind of walked over him.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Grant's been a total 0 for the Mavs.
Yeah.
He has been.
But you need a little toughness.
Yeah, but this is
he's
not
not really that
fake
tough.
Yeah, good job, Nurkic.
Wonderful. Rockets up to less than a minute. Need a bucket. Who do you go to here? I mean, come on.
Thank God. Because losing to the Blazers would have been really bad.
They went into overtime on a miracle off the backboard 3 and ended up losing.
So the miracle 3 happened before overtime?
30, 10, and 8. They went to overtime.
You're not going to do it?
Yeah, and then they lost.
You know what? his nickname is now the Wizard. I might have to just fold
That's
my
about
hand
the
on that.
opposite of the librarian.
Yeah.
Somebody just like,
Wonderful. More Spurs in OKC. This is my other guy, Chet. Dip's getting bodied. 2 out of 24 for Wemby. Thunder put up 140 on the Spurs, who have won 8 games. 8.
hey, look,
Look what?
that takes nothing away from Wendy. Nothing.
8 games?
Nothing.
There's more?
Has there ever been?
killing.
Oh!
Isn't that a good shot? Derek Jones Jr. Isn't it good? I don't even know what to call that. It's like a dunk layup.
It's like the
I'll
Blake
give it a
Griffin
dunk.
slam dunk.
Yeah, I'll give it a
Yeah.
dunk.
It's not a dunk, though. He doesn't even come close to the
Don't
dunk.
throw it in the rim. You get up so high.
Yeah,
Throw it in.
Suns win. They moved to the 5 seed.
Might have been Dwight, not Blake, that did that.
It was Dwight, the
Thank you,
Superman.
Dustin.
No,
with
but
the cape.
Blake did it in
The
real
cape.
life on
That's right.
Mozgov, was it?
Big white guy.
An article in Dallas Morning News. Troy Aikman weighed in on the Cowboys' collapse and said while he doesn't know why the regular season success hasn't quite carried over to the playoffs, he did outline some challenges. Sounds like something Broussard says. I don't know about a sense of entitlement. There's a lot of perks to playing for the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot of benefits to playing for the Dallas Cowboys. So I think the challenge for the organization and for the head coach is to be able to still keep the players with that edge. Brew, it feels like you've been saying that.
I have for the last 5 years or so. The Dallas Cowboys are not primarily a football franchise, and this is their biggest problem. They are primarily a circus. They're like a soap opera, a movie, a drama that is set. It's in a football setting, but it's really not about the football. You know what I mean? Like Love and Basketball. In a basketball movie, but it was really about the love story. You know what I mean?
He got game. Similar?
Yeah, he got game. You know, there's some basketball in it, but that's my like. And the story with the Cowboys is always like, what's Micah saying on the podcast? What did Jerry say after the game? Dak, his money. There's always something else. Every other franchise, correct me if I'm wrong, it's football. Period. There are other things that pop up, but they're always secondary. With the Cowboys, this other stuff is primary, and the football is secondary. Right. It's good for business. It's good to make money, but it's not great for winning a championship.
Well, I would say the Chiefs. You got Travis Kelce. You got Jason Kelce.
But don't you? That's still second. To me, it's
I mean, it's
secondary.
second because we've seen those teams have success recently. So for me, I don't even think it's all about that. I really think this pressure is real for this team. Like, not going to the NFC Championship game in, 29 years? I haven't been there in 29 years. This pressure is real. And once you start to get behind, when they got behind, when Green Bay went down and drove, and they watched offensively their defense just get walked down the field, and then Green Bay punches it in and takes 7 minutes off the clock, now that puts pressure on you as an offense. As you're going on the field, you're looking like, really? You can't get a stop? And so that starts to build up. Before Micah Parsons got there and CeeDee Lamb, Micah came into the league not having to carry that luggage because he's like, that was the old Cowboys. I'm here now. CeeDee is here now. We don't identify with that. Right. But now after 3 seasons, and you've experienced those losses in the postseason, that pressure is real. It is yours to carry now. So for me, it's like, yes, I agree with you. Quiet all that other stuff. Jerry Jones is the ringleader.
Right.
Stop saying what this team is going to be and just let them be whatever they are.
All right. That thing you said about Micah and CeeDee Lamb is one of the smartest things I've heard anyone say about the Cowboys all year. And people talk about it more than anything. And I don't know, it's the smartest things are things that are, the moment someone says it, are obvious, but you had never thought of it.
Yeah.
Like, once you say it, it's like, oh, of course that's true, but I had never thought of it. Because when Brew all year was talking about the 28 years of dysfunction, and I would make the point, okay, but the stars on this team are 25 years old, so who gives a damn about those things? But Greg's point that now that you add, okay, you lose to the Niners at home 2 years ago. They're young, Mike is a rookie year. There's things, whatever it is. Last year, you lost to a better team. You were on the road. You know what I mean? Yeah. But now that this Packer loss has happened and they're bringing everyone back, everyone carries it with them. Every single person carries it with them. And so it's no longer like you don't have to hearken back to, the bobbled snap by Romo. Dez didn't catch it. It's plays you were involved in. So I think
and it's not just on Dak any longer. It obviously Dak didn't play well, but it's on all of those guys now. All your stars did not play well.
Okay, so what do you do?
That's the question.
I
No
know.
one knows.
What?
The owner should stop talking. I mean, seriously.
What about Micah's podcast?